The Holy Gospel according to John. Glory to you, O Lord. Now before the festival of the Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The devil had already put it into the heart of Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray him. And during supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel that was tied around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "You do not know now what I am doing, but later you will understand." Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no share with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." Jesus said to him, "One who has bathed does not need to wash, except for the feet, but is entirely clean. And you are clean, though not all of you." For he knew who was to betray him. For this reason he said, "Not all of you are clean." After he had washed their feet, had put on his robe, and had returned to the table, he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example, that you also should do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. Now the Son of Man has been glorified, and God has been glorified in him. If God has been glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and will glorify him at once. Little children, I am with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and as I said to the Jews, so now I say to you, where I am going, you cannot come. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ. This sermon begins with a story. It's a story about saying goodbye. Tonight you remember another story of saying goodbye, the story of Jesus' last meal shared with his friends. They were probably a little sad, anxious, uncertain, afraid. They didn't know when or even if they would see each other again. These are stories of saying goodbye. It's sad and difficult to say goodbye. But when we're saying goodbye to someone we love and who loves us, like the disciples loved Jesus, or like the different characters in this book loved their friend, we can also remember all of the memories they shared and all of the things they learned from each other. This story is called Always Remember. In the end, on his very last day, Old Turtle swam his last swim and took his last breath. With his life complete, the gentle waves took him away. By dawn, everyone who knew Old Turtle knew that he was gone. The turtles playing in the reef remembered how he taught them to swim. Old Turtle had been a good teacher. And the turtles would always remember. The broad-backed, humpback whale remembered how Old Turtle swam alongside of her and kept her company when she became separated from her pod. Old Turtle had been a good friend. And the whale would always remember. The sea otters remembered how Old Turtle would dive and play with them and make them laugh. Old Turtle had loved to have fun. The otters would always remember. The dolphins remembered how Old Turtle was curious about the unknown and bravely swam far out to sea. Old Turtle explored the darkest of the waters and discovered glittery jewels to show his friends. And the dolphins would always remember. Once a terrible storm tossed and turned the ocean for 3 long days and nights. A starfish was torn from her rock and swept away. When the waves became calm again, Old Turtle looked for her and found her and carried her home. And the starfish would always remember. When Old Turtle found a manatee tangled in a fishing net, he snipped and pulled and would not stop until the manatee was free. The manatee told the story to his children, and they told the story to their children. Old Turtle would never be forgotten. Once upon a time, there was an old turtle. He was a wonderful teacher and friend. He loved to laugh and have fun. He explored the unknown and discovered great things. He showed kindness and strength, and he made his world a better place. When Old Turtle died, the ocean took him back. But what he left behind was only the beginning. In the end, at their very last meal together, the disciples remembered. Tonight, on this Holy Week, in these 3 days at this meal, we remember. We remember Jesus, the teacher, who patiently taught in parables and dialogue about the upside-down, inside-out kingdom of God, where the first are last and the last are first. We remember Jesus, the good friend, who ate in the company of sinners and tax collectors, who befriended the marginalized and the lonely, and accompanied the outcast. We remember Jesus, who ate and drank and reclined at table with friend and stranger alike, laughing and crying and telling stories together. We remember Jesus, who walked on water and calmed the sea, whose journeys took him to places unknown, confronting demons and darkness, and drawing near to those whom others were afraid to encounter. We remember Jesus, who sought out lost coins and lost sheep and lost children, searching high and low until he found them, to carry them safely back home. We remember Jesus, who told the mourners at Lazarus' tomb to unbind him and let him go. Jesus, who indiscriminately freed his people from everything that held them bound in shame or oppression. We remember Jesus, the host, who stooped down in loving humility to wash the feet of his disciples, who broke bread and poured wine and bid his disciples to eat and drink. Remember Jesus, the lover, who commanded his disciples to love one another just as he had loved them, whose love would go even to the cross, laying down his life for his friends. We remember and do not forget. We tell the story to our children, and our children tell it to their children and to generations to come. We remember so that this story will not be forgotten. Once upon a time, there was Jesus. He was a wonderful teacher and friend. He explored the unknown and discovered many things. He showed kindness and strength, and he made the world a better place. And when Jesus died, it was only the beginning, because there was still more to this story. We remember and do not forget. This is a story of God's enduring, loving faithfulness. This story is revealed this night in bread and cup and a new commandment to love. This story is revealed in these days in the garden, on the cross, and in the tomb. This story still isn't over. We remember in order to live the story, to embody the love made known to us this night, in this Jesus, our teacher, our lover, our friend. We remember so that all might know and experience the love that is for you, the love that is for the life of the world.